73-0. That's not just a win, that's a message. Welcome back, y'all. This is Kara Witt, and you are watching Crimson Watch, where we watch the Tide roll. Before y'all go, can y'all give me a thumbs up to this video before we get into it about what Alabama did this last weekend against UL Monroe? We won, finally. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt nothing watching this game at first. I didn't feel a thing. I was just like, business as usual. I still had the nasty taste from last week in my mouth, and I really wasn't over it, to be honest, until I saw we started to run the score up. This game was a statement game, not a mercy rule game, because if Saban was still coaching when we went up at 42 at the half, we probably wouldn't have scored no more than like 50-some points. But Coach DeBoer knew that he had to do something to show the fans that they were different this week. And 73 points is just a statement that they needed. Because after last week, you don't just squeak by and struggle against UL Monroe. You got to walk them like a dog. You got to remind people of who Alabama can potentially be. Yes, it was an inferior opponent, but scoring 73 points is exactly what you're supposed to do against an inferior opponent. The team played with fire and intensity and passion. They was hustling. That's what I want to see every single week. We had a balanced run-pass offense. Every quarterback got in the box score with a touchdown. That's how you shift the narrative. That's how you shift the mindset of the team. And also, let me just say this plain. Germie Bernard is wide receiver 1, period. Put some respect on that man's name. He has earned it. Consistency and production every single game. And that's how we want all of our players to be. And yes, we love Ryan Williams. The talent is real. If we are going to call him a generational talent, then he must show it consistently on the field. Even when every team defense is scheming to take you out of the game, you got to be able to show up. That's what great wide receivers do. The legends at Bama and everywhere were unstoppable no matter what you did to them. Double, bracketed, jam, whatever. Ryan can still be that, and I think that he is that. But it's time to show up and show out week in and week out, no matter what. So until further notice, Germie Bernard is wide receiver 1. Ty Simpson, he looked great. There were some passes that I felt were very elite. I feel like Ty has a really high ceiling, and if he continues to show up this way, there's no telling how great this team can be, how far this team can go. Again, I know it's UL Monroe, but to see Ty be so successful and be so poised back there, and just he played like he had something to prove. The whole team did, and that's how they should play every single week. I know I can see flashes of what Ty can be, and I'm excited about that. Ty had a lot of confidence last Saturday. I'm also excited by Kevin Riley. Phenomenal athlete. I cannot wait to see what else he does when we start playing bigger opponents and once we get into SEC play. Look, man, we handle business as we should have. We know that this team would have won last week, but last week is last week, and now we are focused on Wisconsin. Different test, different style, different team. Same mentality that we had last Saturday. We got to go into week 3 with the same type of drive, same type of fire and intensity. It don't stop just because y'all whooped on UL Monroe. You're going to have harder opponents, okay? We got to reset, reload, and prepare for week 3. Even though they mollywopped the team by 70 points, I still had anxiety going into this game. Something that I never had in the last 20 years of watching Alabama football. The fact that I have to be nervous because of the product that team put on the field last week is new territory. I remember week 1, and I know that week 1 team, and even last season, that team can still rear its ugly head anytime things start to get difficult. And that's what makes me nervous. Whenever we start to let the details slip, I know that week 1 team can show up. And I don't know if that week 1 team is going to show up in week 3 or week 5. Or week 8, who knows? But I don't want it to. I want week 2's team to show up every single game. Every single game. This year is going to be ups and downs. It's going to be a roller coaster. I said that last week. I just want the fans to prepare, and only the real Bama fans are going to survive. Because I have a feeling that we don't know what product we're going to get to see on that field from week to week. But I will say this, Coach DeBoer, if you make a run for the playoffs after the week we had against Florida State, you're going to be a legend. Do you understand me? If that man can pull that team together, a lot of people going to be eating crow, even Bama fans. Because a lot of y'all was jumping off the ship. A lot of y'all said this team is done. I don't want to see nothing else from it. The season is over after week 1. And if that man can turn it around, it's going to be something serious. The receipt's going to go crazy. We are a long way from that. And for now, I'm just glad that there's no more 0 in that win column. I'm glad it's finally a 1-1, even though I don't like to see that either. Honestly, I cringed every time I saw 0 and 1 in the win-loss columns because, excuse me, Alabama, 0-1, what? But here we are. You know what I'm saying? We 1-1. We got us a win, and we got us a dub in the win column. And I'm just happy for that, honestly. But before we go, I want to talk to all the fans a little quick, okay? Don't get too high on your high horse, okay? All of our rivals talk big shit week 1 when we lost to Florida State. And Florida State just put up 70-plus points on an opponent, too. So maybe Florida State is a lot better than we give them credit for. But don't y'all get too excited. Because a lot of y'all had your pom-poms out cheering when Alabama lost. A lot of y'all got excited for Florida State doing what your team cannot do. Because a lot of y'all struggled against unranked teams this week. LSU, you only put up 23 points against Louisiana Tech. Clemson, you was in a dogfight with Troy. Troy, y'all supposed to be big and bad. Y'all supposed to be making a playoff run again this year. What happened? 27 points? And Georgia, Austin Peay. You only scored 28 points against Austin Peay. I watched Georgia run 10 plays in the red zone and still couldn't punch it in before halftime. What's that about? Huh? What's that? Talk to me, Georgia. What's going on out there? Y'all got them big offensive linemen and you couldn't punch it in against little bitty Austin Peay? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm going to tell you like this. Anybody can get got on any given Saturday. So don't beat your chest too hard when Alabama loses, because you laugh now, but Alabama might just get the last laugh. That's the show. Crimson Watch drops every single Monday at 11 a.m. Make sure that y'all are tuned in. Again, give me a thumbs up on this video. Give me your comments of what you thought about the game. What do you think the season is going to look like going forward? Do you think it's going to be ups and downs? Or do you think Alabama is going to be able to make a playoff run? Make sure that y'all subscribe so you do not miss the next week when we play Wisconsin. Roll Tide, y'all.